This is Men's Relationship Wisdom, and the topic of this video is why you should have several and many girlfriend experiences.
I like it.
So this is what is called time-bound dating for men. Now, the purpose of time-bound dating for men is to explore and have experiences. Now, why would you want to have that? Well, the whole thing is that you want to have several and many girlfriends. Now, some of them do them at the same time, but I recommend to do them as a serial basis, a succession of them.
Right.
So,
like sequential.
like, what's the purpose of that? The purpose of that is to have experiences how many women operate, how many women are. And the thing is that you have to take in consideration to do that, what kind of man do you have to become?
Right. So you get to learn about yourself while you're learning about the nature of the opposite sex. And you get to figure out what works for you, what doesn't, what you enjoy, what you don't, things like that.
So
like
I
your
know.
standards. It's like building your boundaries and standards.
So I know a gentleman that he wasn't doing too good in life, and well, he's kind of slowly improving. And he says, "What do you think I need to do?" I go, "I think you need to get a girlfriend."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, why do I need that?" And I go, "It's because when you get a girlfriend, I know what it takes to get a girlfriend." And when you want to get good at relationships, the key fundamental thing is the self-improvement.
Absolutely.
So to get a girlfriend, you have to take care of your money. You have to take care of your health. That's why when guys break up with their girl, they go straight to the gym.
Yeah.
And girls are smarter. When they break up with their man, psychologically, they go to the gym first
before she leaves.
They set up, and then they leave.
Yes.
So the thing is, what kind of man do you have to become to have several and many girlfriends? So that's the thing that's in your hand. So if you are a time-bound dater, you're going to have to take self-help and growth seriously, because you're saying, okay, I'm going to date this girl for so long, and then I'm going to start dating another one. So you know that the future is going to hold you accountable to perform so that you can have those girlfriends.
And not just that, but you get the benefits like directly. So anything that you do to improve or learn and that you grow from is only going to have a good impact on you.
Okay. So I used to, when I was younger, I would date women for 6 months. And after 6 months, my program was, I was a time-bound dater. And what happens is I got into a relationship that it took a little bit, and at 6 months I knew.
Right.
But I was there a little bit longer, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get into the situation. I'm not going to be wasting my time. So I would date the girl for 6 months, and when the 6 months, I would make a decision. Do I want to continue or not continue? And if I do continue, it would be at a
still another
like another time-bound method. So what I did is I would date a girl and be like, okay, and I was already like, this is not going to work out, but I would stay for the experience. So I would see the dark side of women, I would see the good side of women. And what happens is that you need to experience all kinds of women so you get a sense what the market is out there. Like you
absolutely.
Sometimes you like need to date several women so you know what a good relationship looks like. Or you're like, or maybe you have a certain expectancy of how women are supposed to be, and when you date a bunch of them, then you're like, oh, wait a minute, they're not as good as I thought they were. This is the reality. So then you recalibrate what's expected of them. So I put too many standards on them. I had to actually lower my standards. Yeah. Because I expected too much.
It was almost like unrealistic in some sense.
That's right.
And then you get a sense of how reality really is. And then you can accommodate. Because you can't, like, it's like the people that want the world to change for them instead of just accepting how the world is and then changing themselves to adapt.
So mathematically, if you put more variables, like she has to be this tall, she has to be like into fitness, she has to like the same things I like, she has to have blue eyes, she has to have, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, actually, the best thing is what is the most important thing, and then what's the second most important, and what's the third most important,
and just backwards.
Which ones are non-negotiables, and then see who fits that and pick the best who fits that. I changed my priority. When I was younger, I wanted a very attractive girl that was very adoring, so I always went for the top. I was going for the top, and that's when I found out that a lot of beautiful women, I do not like them as persons. They're dumb. They're very inexperienced. A lot of them, a lot of good-looking girls, they just put a lot of dependency on their looks, and they don't grow. So that's what I didn't like about them.
They get used to a certain lifestyle because the more beautiful she is, the more men typically dote on them.
Yeah.
So they have like an entitlement kind of persona without really doing it on purpose. But because that's how the world has treated them, that's how they expect the relationship
Exactly. So
to
it's
play
like
out.
they get a lot what they want. So why would they become more of a person if they're already getting what they want?
Exactly.
So I noticed that the beautiful women, a lot of them, that's all they have. And I go, that's going to fade. So I actually want to be with a person because when we get older and her looks fade, I actually want her characteristics to be more important. So I look for characteristics, but I also want her to be attractive.
Right. So you have like your list. So you're like, I want this characteristic, and I'll pick the best option that gives me that characteristic, the one that's the most attractive, that has those characteristics.
So when I went for the best looking girls, I found out, I was like, you know what? If you just want them for arm candy and for sex, they'll do, but I have to put up with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? This is not working. So that's why I came up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start dating these girls for 6 months. And then when I started doing that, there was a girl that wasn't too good looking, but she adored me. And I dated her, and I was like, oh, this is a good treatment. It was totally opposite because she wasn't as good looking as the other girls. And I was like, oh, so what I need is a girl that treats me like this and as beautiful as that. If I can get that together, that's what all the guys really want.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to do that, but unless you're looking for it, you know what to look out for, you know how to identify it.
Well, and working on yourself also, because the more you work on yourself, the better options that you get. So
my edge is that I can see, I'm not afraid of beautiful women. I can talk to them, but what I'm really doing is qualifying them. And a lot of the girls do not qualify. They're just looks and that's it. Like besides looks, there's not much else. So I look for certain characteristics that can grow upon them. And a lot of girls, they're fired before they're even considered. Like the application is like
they're barely
through.
Considered. Yeah.
Right. So because a lot of beautiful women get what they want and they don't develop. So there's like the ugly duckling. Like she has to develop and then she blossoms into something beautiful. That's the girl.
Right, because she has to have like a little bit of a personality, work on her other characteristics or other qualities in order to get the guy's attention, because she cannot compete on that physical level.
So a girl that develops later. So that's what happened to you.
That's what happened to me, yeah.
So you didn't develop until later, and I got you a little bit right before that. So you had to develop those social skills, those characteristics, and then you blossom.
And I was fortunate enough to have like many men in my life to where I could kind of, learn from them. So, and to what men actually expect.
So when I started dating girls, I would be like 6 months, whether it was a good girl or not, I would just go to the next one. And I started doing that. But my plan was I'll go to the next one until I find one. And then if it goes good, then I'll just keep going. And that's what happened with you.
Yes.
But I recommend with guys is even if you think you found the right girl, you should keep going. And you shouldn't settle until you get later in life. So that's one of the mistakes that I made. When I got with her, everything was good. I got complacent in my relationship. I started going after money, and I wasn't paying attention to my health, and I wasn't paying attention to my relationships.
Yeah.
And that's why I started gaining weight. I didn't focus on my relationship as much, and it started to dwindle down. And that's when I saw it. And I was like, you know what? I need to boost up these levels. But what happens is a lot of the drive that men have is for women. So once they get the girl, they can't have any other ones. The drive dies because they're like, oh,
or they put it
society
somewhere
says
else.
I can't have more women. Society says this. Society says that. But if you put yourself that you're going to be in a relationship for a certain time limit, you know that you're going to have to keep dating. You know you're going to have to perform. So it adds that.
Like a positive anxiety type thing, because you know that you need to maintain, like, let's say your health. And the byproduct is
because you know you're going to
good,
continue trying to convince
you're going to
somebody
need to get the next girl and show her that you're still attractive.
Yeah, so you're going to keep going. So it's kind of like what you're doing when you're dating other women and you're continuing to dating and knowing that you're going to date, you're really training yourself to recognize the good girls. Okay. So when you're consistently dating different girls, what happens is that you're training yourself to know what to look out for. So what you're really doing is getting feedback. That's what you're really doing. You're getting feedback and you're kind of reflecting on the relationships. So when you date a girl, you're like, oh, okay, I don't want that. I like this. I didn't like that. And then you go to the next one. Oh, I like this. So you're getting the feedback and you know that different girls act differently, but you start to get patterns.
Well, that reminds me of the video that we did, certain mistakes you should make with women with the 2 exclusions.
That's
so if you guys want
video.
to check that one out when you're done with this one.
So that's one. And what happens is that you're actually helping yourself be better with women because you're having more experiences and you're actually exploring with different types of women and
what you like, what you don't
exactly.
like. And then also you learn their expectations. So you're like, okay, women expect this. And what do I need if I want a woman that's similar or better than this in the future?
Exactly. So what you're really learning is after so many relationships, and I recommend that the young guys do this until
maybe late 30s.
Late 30s, early 40s, even 50s.
Depending
you just
on
play
where
the
you
field,
are.
keep dating, because once you keep doing that, like for you to have that many girlfriends and keep going, you have to produce.
Yeah.
Because good relationships are expensive, bad relationships are more expensive, and no relationships is connection bankruptcy. So no matter what you're gonna do, it's expensive.
Right.
Okay?
You're gonna pay.
You're gonna pay
like,
no matter
regardless,
what.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you have to develop characteristics of non-attachment. You're gonna have to develop characteristics of exit strategy. So it actually makes you good knowing how to break up. It gives you kind of like strong blood, thick blood.
Because when you leave, like let's say the relationship is going well, but you've reached your time limit, leaving with like a strategy means that you continue to keep your reputation as best as possible. You stay true to yourself, and in a way nobody then can therefore talk.
It's because you're training.
Or
Like say if you have a good relationship and you're like, why don't I continue with this? Because you're too green. You think that's what's good until you have lived. And a lot of men settle too early.
Oh,
a lot of them settle too early.
I think the majority settle too early.
You haven't become enough until you get older, until you see it. And then once you've seen a good scope that you've been training, dating for 20 years, and you constantly work on it, like what kind of person are you going to become? When you're 40, you're going to know how to attract a woman. You know what you have to deal with. This is not your first rodeo. You know what to pick. You know what to look for.
You know who's going to be the most beneficial in your life.
That's right. You're going to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. So when you have all that experience and when you're older and you have developed, it's going to make you more equipped.
Absolutely.
If you think about it, that's what women do.
Yeah.
Like how many guys, like it's not hard for them to get a guy.
No.
So how much experience do they have? How much dating do they have?
Depending on the girl, they start.
How many guys are they seeing at one time?
So like girls start like maybe 14, 15, and then they settle down around 27, 30 because they're hitting that wall to have children.
Yeah, but how many dates have they gone on? How many this? How many that? Because it's so easy for them to get a guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like think about it. You're really just doing what they're doing.
But see, that's why women know that when they're like around, let's say 30, she picks a guy that's probably also around 30. He's still green. He still doesn't know because guess how many experiences he's had since then? That's right. Very, very few.
He's very green.
So she already knows. She's like, this is a good bet. This is potential. So let me get him now before he figures anything else out. And then, well, if it doesn't work out, I have a golden parachute.
That's why they say men aspire and women expire. And the thing is,
that's
man,
assuming that he takes care of himself.
That's right. But if you're going to be continuing dating, it pushes you. You have to perform.
Yeah. And then you become a higher and higher investment. Like you become more and more valuable. You become so like good. I can't think of like the word for it, but it's like you become such a prize. Like
you become a good investment because you've been through many battles.
So that once you find a woman that qualifies and you have that meaningful relationship, believe me, she's going to try to do everything in her power to make sure she does not lose you. Absolutely. She will do everything to keep you around because she knows you are the reward. You are the prize. You are the investment.
The biggest mistake that men make is that they try to become the man that gives her whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants. And you should become the man that she doesn't want to lose.
I agree. 10,000%. Because the man that pleases his wife and just lives for that is like the mother that just pleases the child. She just gives the kid everything he wants or she wants, and the kid grows up entitled and spoiled and bratty. And men do the same thing to women.
Yeah, don't become the man that she gives permission to be fucked. Be the man that she wants to be fucked by.
Yes, 10,000%.
That's right. So, I mean, that's what we think, guys. Let us know what you guys think.
Leave your comments, your experiences, so that everyone can learn from your wisdom or your pain. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
All that good stuff.
All that
Thank you.
Thank you.